Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela O'Hare, your favorite Las Vegas realtor.
And I'm Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor.
And before we get started, look at Rob's hair.
Hey,
looks good.
Look at me.
We went from long hippie hair to, it was nice. I like the other haircut too. So this looks pretty good.
Yeah. It's still a little unruly. I'm still getting the hang of.
Yeah.
I'm still getting the hang of doing this haircut right now.
Well, welcome to our February issue of our monthly market update. And in today's issue, we will be going over January 2022 numbers. And so it only had roughly almost a $12,000 increase in median price.
Well, we're going to see that change in February. I strongly believe we're going to see those numbers go wiggity whack for February. I'm going to talk about it more in detail on my Robnostication on my channel, but that's a little bit of insight into where I'm going.
Yep.
On some of my predictions.
Wow. We don't have much of an audience today.
No. Oh, and they just left as soon as you said something.
I got to get my fan. Hot flashes. Do you want to go over something?
Well, I don't want to supersede anything here. What do we have
Next, we're going to go into the new listings and what's on the market. Okay,
so I will go into this then.
Okay.
I just wanted to point this out because this is pretty incredible, and it has been the trend. But you have on here.
Here, I can go on the report. Do you want me to turn to a page?
It's just the first page.
First page
or second.
Second slide.
That one.
That
there
one.
You go.
Okay.
So as you notice here, condo townhouse.
Which one? Condo townhouses.
Yeah, that's the one I'm focusing on right now. You see that you have the median price went up to 243. I would say probably around the time you started, that was the median price for a single family residence.
Right.
So not that many years ago, 5 years ago, so whatever,
right.
Which by the way, she's done excellent in that time.
I'm on my 5.5 years now.
Yeah, there you go. Going on 6 years. So it's just booming there. And then you see the next number there, 260, is the median list price. Okay, so there a lot of these sellers are trying to sell these condos for higher and higher because that is the more affordable range now. But really what I wanted to point out the most is look at this 0.5 months and a 66.6 decrease in availability in available units.
Wow.
I mean, that to me is really, really telling. And, you can kind of look to that territory to say what's happening in the overall market. That's gonna ripple through all of our levels of the market, I think, to some degree, at least for the next 2 months, 3 months
at least.
Yeah. So
4 months.
That's interesting. When we can go into, I didn't want to jump over our how many,
and we normally don't talk about condos, but it's a good point to actually maybe start really reflecting on condos, just show you what's happening with the condo market.
Just to, because I thought it was so incredible that because you look up here and you have 0.7 months, which it is going down. It's been going back down again, right? We had a bit there where it was going up just incrementally. Right. Now it's the last few months, but that is a more like, okay, 19%. You're like, that's still a pretty big number, but 66.6%. I mean, that's like,
that's nothing.
Nothing. You got nothing available out there.
Well, and the thing with condos is that it's very hard with different types of financing, especially if you're doing FHA and VA loans. Most of those sales have to be either conventional or cash.
Yeah, there are condos that go for FHA, but they're
very limited.
Yeah, and I can tell you with this type of inventory, they're none of those are getting accepted right now.
Oh yeah,
very, very few of them.
Yeah.
So
that brings us to the next slide, and let's see which one that was. So we actually had a total number of 2,900 new listings last month, which is up 32.1% from the prior month and up 2.3 from the prior year. So people were getting the hint that you need to list, but it wasn't enough. but we had more listings compared to December and
Yeah.
compared to January 2021.
Yeah, a lot of people waited through the typical, slow point of the year, and then they started dropping. We're going to see a little bit more. I think we'll see more people. I mean, gosh, this is just such a massive seller's market, but not everybody wants to or can sell.
Right.
For a number of reasons.
And we're going to have advice why we think you should list now, right?
Certainly.
Do you want to do it now or wait till we get over the numbers?
I'll tell you. Why not?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think that it's plain and simple. If you want to sell your house for the most historic price ever that it's ever sold for, now's the time. And I don't care what house anywhere in Las Vegas, your house will sell for the most, unless it's half burnt down.
Yeah, but you know what? A note to that is that the appraisers are not appraising to appraise. They are still very conscious of what the value should really be.
Yeah, they can't make up numbers.
Right.
They still have
in years
to follow.
past, remember they used to say back before it crashed, they would,
Yeah.
oh, okay, your house is worth that. Okay. Ultimately a home is worth is what somebody's willing to pay for.
Pay for it.
Right.
And what somebody has. So what's been happening, as you know, is that people have been waiving appraisal contingencies so that they can. So that's how the value raises. Is the appraiser says it's worth this, and you've got it written in the contract that will waive or pay up to a certain amount above appraisal. So now the value moves up, not because the appraiser says necessarily that, hey, here's our new value, although they are giving consideration for value increase, then they know that the market is trending up. So they are doing that. But, if you've got a big gap that you think when you look at the comparable sales and you say, oh, well, these all sold here and you want to get this price here, there are people willing to pay it. The trouble is getting it financed. Yeah. So you got to be able to pay a little bit above or pay cash, which is happening. It's still happening.
Yes. Yep. All right. So let's go back to the numbers. All right. So now this goes to availability. We only have 1,821 single family homes available on the market as of at the end of January, which is a very anemic number.
Skimpy.
Very skimpy. If you think about it, with over 2 million people in the Las Vegas Valley, to only have well over 1,800 homes on the market is not a lot at all. Not enough to support the amount of people that live in Vegas or the amount of people that are moving to Vegas.
Yeah, and the true reality of how many people would like to buy can get financed.
Right.
Is a much larger number than that 1821.
So this is interesting because it goes to it's a negative 19.1% down from last month, and then a negative 21.3 from the prior year. So we are, even in January is when we started feel that pinch of the market being crazy. But this to me is telling me that this year's market is going to be even crazier than 2021.
Very, very possible. I can't hardly believe I'm saying it, but it's very possible. The way that it's starting out, and there's look, this is another part of what I'm going to predict on my prognostication, but I think that there's some big reasons for that, and people are trying to get in before some things change. Interest rates are one of them, and we've been saying that. And boy, if people aren't listening to us, I just feel bad. Right now these buyers are like hungry hippos. They're just gobbling everything up, and that's what that number proved. Right. Is that as soon as we got more inventory, we got a little bit more that people were putting up, but it just got wiped out. Right. So you don't have. So then what's left on the market is back down here. I think that's going to happen even more so next month. Yeah.
February has been a very.
What I'm seeing out there.
I did predict in one of our market updates was that once February hits, the ground is going to be.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's usually that's where you start to see. Speaking of a ground swell. Right. That's where you start seeing it. But I'm going to tell you, within a month or even a 2-week period, I've seen the difference of where I could, my clients might be able to go in there and not have a competitive offer, and then suddenly
Yeah.
we've got multiple offers.
Oh yeah.
Like within the last 2 or 3 weeks,
Yep.
it's just the switch is back on.
Yeah, because I have some closing at the end of this month, and it's just right before the end of January when we went under contract. And it's a good thing we did go under contract when we did, because if they waited that 2 weeks,
Yeah. We tried to tell people, get in while you can, but it's not always comfortable for people to get in and start looking when it's November, December, a lot of stuff, especially this last one. I
Right.
think we really had some holdovers because people hadn't had like their usual
Holiday.
Thanksgiving
Right.
and Christmas or whatever they're celebrating around that time. So they held it off.
Right.
And I think some are going to pay the price for that.
But
Oh, well, if you got the money, it's all good. Do it.
and I know I should never analyze it based off of my business, but last February I was slammed and I had about 7 closings in March, which February seems to be a very busy time from past history in the Las Vegas market.
Oh yeah. I always say this, and it's like when we start heating up, because February actually starts warming up and it's beautiful right now.
Well, all of January was in the 60s.
Yeah, so it wasn't bad, but still wintry weather for us in
Right.
January.
Right.
And then February starts warming up. Well, guess what starts warming up as well? The market. And then as we turn into summer, it's just it's blazing.
All right, so let's go back to the screen. I guess
we'll get to some questions.
Well, let's just
here.
finish this
Yeah.
section of that, and then we'll get to some questions.
We'll get to your questions. Keep them coming in there. We promise we'll address them.
Oh, we already ended that screen. So yeah, let's
Are we there?
Yeah.
Are we there yet? All right. Well, what do you say? We got he wants
We'll
to move
start in
back to
order.
Summerlin. When should I go? Well, you should have already been. Now is your time.
Now's the time. If you can wait, then I suggest waiting. But then every time we say wait, then there's always something. So
Yeah. So if you wait, this is I don't want to keep revealing stuff I'm going to do on my thing, but I got a big one. I mean, I got a lot of good, solid predictions coming. But if you wait,
come on, share your predictions.
I can allude to some things. If you wait, it's going to cost you more. You can do that, and there will be some easing in some areas, but it's going to cost you more in some way, shape, or form. Okay.
But so the difficult price range for me is anything basically 600,000 and under.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of clients in the $400,000 range, and I kind of like.
Yeah, I got a lot of investors trying to invest in that range, and it's like nothing.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and speaking of, this guy's asking about Ernesto. He's asking about these damn investors buying everything up. Yeah, you got an issue here because those investors, they haven't stopped and they're paying top dollar.
Yeah.
So. And there's a number of reasons. We've gone over the short-term stuff that's happening in the Clark County part of the city,
right?
But just in general, they're buying it up. They want look. Another illusion. This is known information, but it's going to tie into everything that I'm predicting. 7.5% inflation. It went up 0.5%, and it's going to jump again. You watch. I'm predicting something outside of real estate, but it's going to jump again. And this is going to have an effect on the real estate market. And that's what these investors are also why they're sinking all their money into real estate is so they can have something that goes with inflation.
Sure.
Boom.
Boom. Booyah.
Don't mean to get too excited.
At least one more year. Okay. That's cool.
At least one more. Hey, yeah. You know what? Like, just keep an eye on, make sure you're listening to us. If you can buy at the end of this year, it's going to maybe be a good time. We'll see.
Let's get back to the screen. All right. So this really didn't change. We're at 0.7 months of inventory. Last month we were at 0.7, but it was only I can't even read with my glasses on. What's that number?
19. Well, you got 0.4.
Oh, 0.4%.
Not even a percent. Not even a 0.5%.
Slightly up at 0.4%, and then down 19% from the prior year. So I can't even remember what last year's numbers were. Last year. Last year, how many months of inventory we had at that time?
Well, it was 19% higher, so you could do the calculations. It wasn't all that much, maybe 1.3 or No, 19. Yeah, not quite that. One person,
Yeah.
1 month of supply.
Yeah. 1.111.
Yeah.
So that leaves us 73% of the homes that were on the market 30 days or less. And then let's see.
64.4% versus last year,
Yeah.
prior year.
And then last month that was 75.1%. So homes that are decent, nicely priced, not overpriced, it doesn't need a lot of outdating, was on the market 71.3% 30 days or less.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting yanked. Just it's like, hey, it's like being a fisherman and you just put your pole in the water and tink, here you go. That's what sellers. Just imagine that. I put you want to sell your property? Think of the fisherman who goes and just throws their line in and immediately gets the pull of fish in.
Right.
A big one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because all of my listings, for the most part, got multiple offers, 40, 50,000 over asking price, appraisal waivers, but one of them was a 1031. You're going to get a lot of 1031 cash exchanges because people are selling all their rental properties either from other states and they're moving here to Vegas to buy more rental properties.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a little bit of that investment jockeying going on. And I just want to say, Ernesto, I can understand your trepidation, but she just mentioned something that's very important to know, and we can talk about this one-on-one when you're ready. But there's a lot of cash going into this market. Cash is strong. It's much different than in 2007. That's why we don't sit around and worry so much. There's a couple of things we could worry about. I think when we talk about how much investment is happening, if all those investors decided to
pull the plug,
yeah, that would be a problem. But I don't think it'd be 2008 level problems. It would be a problem nonetheless.
I mean, but why would you say if the investors pulled out, why would that be a problem?
Because there's so many of them. There's so many.
But that would help the people that actually want to buy.
Yeah, but it would create, if they all did it at once. Now, look, if they do what they probably would do, which would be a coordinated thing,
right?
They would slowly let the balloon release. Then the inventory would slowly come on and get chewed up. But look, I'm talking if these guys get hit on Wall Street, bam, and then suddenly they feel the pinch and they've got to sell. I don't know. I don't even look. It's hard to fathom how that could happen. But if I saw a house of cards, it would be there,
right?
And it would just be that they're so heavily.
And shockingly, those people that went on the mortgage forbearance, we really haven't seen too many foreclosures come in the market.
No, because they have equity,
right?
So I mean, you'd have to bury your head under a rock to not realize, hey, look, I just won't let it go to foreclosure. I'll sell this property and I'll make money. And now I can at least survive.
I mean, it would be stupid to give up your house if you can make equity in it.
It's so funny because we haven't even heard a mention of that.
No.
For how long? Months. So that really cleared itself up.
Because a lot of the forbearance ended last June and then some of it in December. But ultimately, these people that are in forbearance should have equity. I mean, granted, I sold a house that in 1 year, they bought it last February, sold it this February, and gained $100,000 in equity. That's unheard of.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people surprised. The guy at the car dealership I told you about, he's like, yeah, just bought a house a year and 2 months ago, and I'm selling it for this much more, and I'm buying this much more, right?
Right.
So.
I mean, the only problem that's going to help rectify the inventory shortage is that if people actually list, but where are the people going to go? And this is a topic that we always discuss about. Where are the sellers going to go if they sell their home? They're not going to rent.
No, they're either moving out of state or they're moving on up or moving on down as far as the type of property they're getting. Now, I do see with so much equity, this is where people have to look at what the actual scenario is. If you can basically have the same mortgage, the number that you pay right now, but you're in a nicer home, you might think about that. And because the interest rates have been so low, which by the way, they're already pricing in adjustments. I don't know. I've been watching the interest rate and it's doing this, but anyway,
we need to get a lender and
we should. We absolutely should. Yeah. They'll be mind boggled by things though. we'll get them really speaking about all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so they where the hell was I? Damn it.
I have no idea.
Lender
interest rates
oh.
creeping up.
So gosh, now somebody remind me where the hell I was. Somebody was hanging on by a thread to every word I was saying, and now I don't remember where I was. Damn it.
Sorry, I should have mentioned the lender thing.
Oh God, it just flew right out of my head.
You're talking about interest rates were ticking up.
Yes. So interest rates are ticking up, and
you're starting to see it.
Yes, you're starting to see that happen. Oh. So if you're a seller, or you're thinking about selling, and
Sorry,
you have to take a look at what equity you have going on, because if you've got enough equity to basically trade your property for a better property,
right,
which is virtually what you can do, then great. But that right now is presenting a new problem to do that. Right. And I hate to bring this up because it's like you're going to turn off people from selling, but the sellers that are selling that maybe have the house you want to move into aren't accepting your contingent offer.
Oh,
right. They won't do it.
Right.
So they just, oh God,
it's like a catch-22.
So there you go. Even if you wanted to put your house on the market so you could get a better house, first of all, you're kind of chewing up inventory just by doing that.
But couldn't you, it's a hot seller's market and you're selling a home, do a lease back?
Yes.
And then that gives you time, at least 60-day lease back, gives you time to find your home and buy a new one. And then you don't have to rely on it being contingent upon selling.
You can do that. Yes, you can do that.
Because oftentimes, because of this hot seller market, people want to get the house and they will be willing to do that.
They'll be willing to wait for it. So yes, absolutely, you can do that. That is, of course, part of it. So that helps you not be a contingent buyer, basically.
It's hard. I actually just got an offer on a listing that my clients just listed their house, not even under contract, but it got accepted.
Oh, okay. Wait. You say that again?
So I put it in offer on the house in Siena that we're talking about.
Yes. Okay.
And my clients are selling their home in Florida, beautiful home. And they just listed it.
And it's they're buying a contingent.
They're buying contingent, but it's not even under contract.
Okay.
And the seller accepted the offer.
But you know the reason why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, there are certain circumstances that it may happen. It just depending on the circumstance.
I don't want to discourage it too much to make people feel like they couldn't get it done, because there are ways to get it done. It's just, it's a tough. But that happened to be in Siena, which is a 55 plus community, which has a restricted market,
right?
To some degree. So that seller was clearly happy to get the number they got, and they're fine with waiting.
All right, so it's
getting hot in Vegas. She needs a fan in here.
The age. I don't see the part that's funny. That doesn't make sense. Do you understand that comment?
Probably something that we laughed about because the market, and we chuckled because the market's going so bananas. I understand. And okay, so Ernesto says, should I buy a low price condo for now? Hey, but if it's your primary residence, buy whatever you can right now.
But even low price condos are going through multiple offers.
Sure.
My client was interested in a $220,000 condo, and they only had it on the market 2 days, 5 offers, highest and best.
25 above, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yes, you should do that if you can. I'm only saying that because the alternative is renting. And that is no-go zone. Okay, you want to? We're telling you how crazy the market is, but part of that is because of how even more crazy the rental market is.
Right. So
you want to rent that, condo for $1,800 or $1,900 a month, or do you want to just buy that?
So the median price for condos is up almost 26% from last year.
Yeah, so it's pretty much on par, but it's just going through the
There's only 322 units available in condos.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, 0.5 months. And then 80% of the closings are on the market 30 days or less. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's very huge. So very slim pickings in the condo world, townhouse world, and single family residential.
That's all of real estate except for commercial.
Which we don't do.
That's right.
So, well, I guess that's it. Wow, this is like, what time is it? 1:30?
30 minutes. Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about what we're talking about, how we're free.
Oh yeah. Hey, we can raw dog air again. Welcome to Las Vegas, where you don't have to wear a mask any longer anywhere, unless a business really just wants to make you do that still, or
Right.
or if you have a client that maybe like sometimes I'm going to wear it if my client is uncomfortable still. But other than that, it's unprotected air time.
Well, let's see how long this will last. Because remember, back in June, it didn't last not even the whole month. And then all of a sudden we had to wear masks again.
I wish we could replay my comments on what we have said about COVID and stuff, because boy, I've been pretty right on those two, Bing. And I'm going to say another one. Here is a prediction. Here's a prognostication. We're not going back to masks. We're done.
We're done.
We're in endemic stage. We're no longer in pandemic stage. Of course, there are still things going on. Of course, there are people still getting sick. And I hope that there are people that are not leaving this planet because they get sick. But unfortunately, if somebody's kind of already close to kicking the bucket and they get this bug, they're probably not going to do too well. That's a lot of what's happening.
Well, I think, the bug will never go away. It'll be a continuous thing like the flu.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be just like you said, less virulent.
Oh, yes. It's already that way.
We got a question. Can you read it?
I tell you, that really depends on your situation. Now, this person is saying, is it worth buying in Indian Springs? A lot of times people talk about Pahrump or Indian Springs, and then they commute to Vegas for work. I personally would hate that scenario, but that's because I've been living in Las Vegas all my life, and I really want my commute to be not that. But there probably is some opportunity for some low price housing out there compared to Vegas.
Right.
I would imagine they're actually doing historic numbers.
I don't know much about Indian Springs to really
anywhere, anywhere, because I think they have some new home builds out there that I saw when last time I went snowboarding on the way out. But anywhere outside of Vegas starts to grow as if we have this kind of activity.
Oh yeah, totally.
But you just, look, that's really a personal thing for you if that's what you can do.
When we had the boom the first time around, Pahrump was like building like crazy, new construction.
It was like everybody, I remember they were like, oh yeah, come out to Pahrump. It's like great, and boy, people really got hammered on that one.
I've only been to Pahrump one time in my entire life, and I think that'll be the only time.
Yeah, well,
it's a whole nother.
It's a different place to live.
Right.
So,
Ozzy.
But those places look, all the land in between all these places is all selling as well. I mean, anywhere you can.
Mesquite.
I mean, but so all these, Reno is absolutely pumping right now.
You think our market's bad? Reno's market is crazy.
Yeah.
Their prices are through the roof. Well, because it's close to California.
It's close to that tech, booming area. And then people will buy a house in Reno. And as I now know about Tahoe and being able to go up there and go, skiing, snowboarding. I mean, it's really quite a nice spot. And for people who no longer are tied down to having to live in very expensive parts of California, they'll come over to Reno and go, hey, I can buy a nice place here. And then I can, drive a short drive up to the mountains.
Right.
All right.
Was traffic alone it's 35 minutes to get to work from Henderson to my work. That's why I was considering it. But like you said, new homes and land. So from Henderson to my work. So do you live in Henderson and then your work? Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So if being in Indian Springs puts you closer to your work because you're up north, I can understand that. Yeah, that's actually a straight drive, not a lot of waiting in traffic. I mean,
eventually it's going to get there. Right now, it's already up to Skye Canyon and with Sunstone.
Yep.
It's just it's creeping up. I would do Cave Creek, but Cave Creek is all like mountainous houses, survival.
Cabins.
Yeah.
Okay, those types of places are really popular as well. Like because as long as you can have internet, like that's what's happened to a lot of these what used to be more vacation type style places or seasonal. People are going and buying up these properties there because they can now live there 24/7.
Yeah.
They can be on internet, get their work done, and go up on the ski slopes.
I like Cave Creek. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Have you been up there?
I can't recall.
There's some really nice houses. Some unique looking houses.
Well,
all right. So that's it, folks. So we're going to predict, actually, part of the headline was spring 2022 predictions.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So as we've been saying, we don't see this slowing down at all. In fact, for the next 3 months at least,
90 days.
90 days is going to be very crazy, right?
Robust.
Very robust. If you are a buyer, you need to make sure you have your financials in line. You need to make sure that you have extra funds to possibly, if you really need to buy and you really want that house, you may have to waive the appraisal contingency. So what that means is you're going to have extra funds on top of the down payment.
Yep, down payment and closing costs. So
right,
have your ducks in a row. Be ready to rock, and have your expectations in the right place too. I think that's the hardest thing for some buyers is that learning curve.
Yeah, and don't get disappointed if you put in offers 5 times and maybe finally the 6th time it gets accepted. As we said, everything happens for a reason, and you weren't meant to have those other 5 homes.
Well, the way I say it is, yeah, exactly, absolutely. The way I say it though is that it's like the call up to the major leagues player strikes out his first 5 times at bat, and then he gets a home run on his 6th time. These are practice swings. You're learning the nature of what you're having to deal with. If you stick offers in and you don't get them, don't cry or try not to. As I've said, I've had people cry to me about not getting a home and then say, "Thank goodness I didn't get that home later." Right. So hang in there, keep a tough mindset. It is certainly a very historic time to buy a home.
Right. And advice that we've given just briefly when we did our multiple offers is shorten your contingencies. If you can, waive appraisal. There's a lot of things you can do as a finance buyer to make your offer stand out. Maybe offer up a higher earnest money deposit instead of, say, $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000 to say, you know what, Mr. Seller, I'm dead serious. I want to buy your home.
Yeah. You make it as easy as possible for that seller to take it.
Mark, that's why I thought of you when I said 6 times a charm.
Oh, did he nail it? Was it 6 times?
Yeah, his was the 6th time.
There you go, Mark. I saw my scenario was perfect.
Right.
All right. Well, you hit a home run on the 6th at bat. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Especially with out-of-state buyers that are military, like Mark's military,
the VA.
It's very hard, but I
think the VA is a great loan.
Oh yeah, I was able to secure a home for him. I had another client last month that was VA. I mean, I love my VA buyers. There's just ways of working around it.
Yeah,
and you have to have a good agent that knows the market and knows how to navigate through the market in a multiple offer situation. If they're not experienced agents, then they may not be doing you a favor.
Absolutely. It's, I actually have been a little guilty, not necessarily not being an experienced agent, but being almost too caring at times where I'm like, oh yeah, I want you to get the best deal. And it just kind of rubbed me wrong for somebody to have to go through this. But really, if ultimately getting the deal is the best deal, then I can't let what maybe I think in the past should be the way it is now, right? It's not that way now. Right. So
things are ever changing.
I have to give really direct advice, and also we have to be patient. So you have to have a patient realtor that's going to understand the market, but be patient with you and keep encouraging you, keeping the mood at a high level.
Right. Exactly. Do we have any more questions before we sign off? You guys have been very quiet today.
That's all right. That's all right. If you got nothing to say or nothing good to say, then don't say it.
Is that it? Yeah, I think we covered it all.
You're welcome, everybody. And thank you for your comments.
Prognostication, when are you going to be producing your predictions?
Should be out on Monday as long as my editor
all right.
gets
So
it done.
can you at least predict how much? So we always like to have this bet. How much of an increase?
15K.
You're going to say 15.
I think we go up to, that would be, was it 50?
It was
450.
435.
So,
I'm going to say 20.
Okay.
So when we do this next March or next month,
it's either going to be 450 or 455 if one of us is right. That's
so
how
50,
much we think it's changing.
Right.
We haven't seen a 15K increase yet.
I don't remember.
We certainly haven't seen a 20.
We've seen 10s.
So
I'm predicting a 20. You're predicting a 15K.
Yep.
All right. How much you want to bet? We don't ever bet.
I feel like you did the $1 over thing though. So,
I was gonna say 520 to begin with. If I went first, I should have said 20,000.
You should have just said 10,001. I don't want to bet. I just know it's going to be strong. We know for sure that look, seriously, this is a rare time I can say for sure.
So sellers.
Yeah.
Seriously. This is going to be the peak. And then after that, we are going to stabilize. We're not going to see it like this probably ever, right? I don't know.
I got to believe, especially how we can see this coming, that this is like sort of like the last time we see this kind of activity. Yeah. I have to believe that just to be able to project or to dictate all the terms you want as a seller, all the terms you want. This is the time. I don't know that we see that once this goes away.
Yeah, exactly.
For a long time.
Yeah. And we say probably come June, it'll start not being as crazy, right? The only thing that's going to help is the homes, the inventory that's coming on the market. Yeah. If we don't have the inventory, this will continue.
Yeah. So we're 90 days out right now. We think it's going to be strong. There could be a couple of things that will, a couple of bits of information changes that could happen that could start to change that scenario. But typically it's hard to bet against the summertime. Right. The summertime, you always see us get strong and pick up steam. And that's what happened last year. August was just absolutely boom. June, July, August. Yeah. It was just like higher, just really.
Bam, bam, bam. And it's still, we had a lull for a minute, like September, October, we've remained flat for the most part. And then once November and December hit, the numbers
could be that we see it in just February, March, and April this time. Yeah. Because if the interest rates go up enough, that will.
And there may not even be enough homes on the market to support anything.
Yeah. So we'll see.
It's just if the sellers come out and play, that's going to be the key factor in all of it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Prognostications will be on next Monday. Yes. Next Monday, if his editor will get it done.
Yeah, my videos are supposed to be always Monday, but sometimes they get pushed to Tuesday.
Yeah, so pay attention to his channel at, what's your channel?
Rob Howe Rockstar Realtor.
Because he's the rock star.
No, you're the rock star.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I'm the realtor. That's right.
Right. Well, you guys know what to do. This is the shortest market update we've done in, how many minutes have we been on? 45?
45. We usually go an hour, but
we got an Aussie boy.
I guess we just didn't want to sit here and tell you, hey, the market's booming. The market's booming. The market's booming.
It doesn't help. We also did a video last week. So everything that we probably would have talked today, we did last week. So that's probably why we should start doing that. So we don't talk for an hour and a half on the market update. But anyway,
go back and look at that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information.
Offers. You know what to do. Like, share, smash that subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching.
Rock on.
But do it peacefully.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Ozzy says bye.
Hasta la vista.
Later, Gators.